Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Christmas Central. And if this shot seems at all familiar, it should. Well, maybe not entirely. It's not quite a one-to-one, but this was an attempt to recreate the magic of the 2012 Christmas Central setup, which had the red and white lights going. We're going to talk about that in a little more detail in just a moment. But I thought I would just kind of reintroduce things the same way I did then. Now, as beautiful as this room looks in the morning and during the day, of course it is at its best during the night, so I'll be showing plenty of footage of that as well. But this is just a new era, a new beginning of Christmas. Of course, this is not the end, it's just the beginning. Christmas Central 2022 has been my passion project since the beginning of November 2022. So, unsurprisingly, here I am to show it off yet again. Alright, so this is the shot you're probably more used to, and for good reason. Christmas Central is really enjoyed at its best when you're just kind of sitting back, kicking back, and really enjoying the show. And what a show it's been over these many number of years. It's hard to believe that it has actually been 10 years since Christmas 2012. And the reason I mention Christmas 2012 so prominently is because obviously there was nothing wrong with the other Christmas setups of, 09, 10, 11, but Christmas 2012 was really the first one that, quote-unquote, dared to dream. The Christmas Central setup of 2012 was just so remarkable. And every year I kind of like throw more things into it. I throw literally more noise into it. Each setup gets bigger, louder. I mean, did I say bigger? But seriously, this is Christmas Central 2022. And yes, I'm doing this rant during the day, which does seem a little weird, but it's not unprecedented, as you just saw. And I am going to show some shots of this during the night and some of the references that I've made to 2012, while also keeping this as its own thing. Now, the red rope light was a big deal back in 2012. Since that Christmas, I have since migrated that rope light to behind me. I don't know if it comes up on camera here, but on the fireplace itself, it's been a big part of it. That noise in the background is, of course, the 2019 roller coaster, which has seen its way back into this room a number of times already. So just every part of this room being used in some way. We have the magic tracks returning from 2018 onward, but sticking with the 2012 influences, there's more than just that one I mentioned. The really bright, shiny, I almost called it the Christmas disco back in 2012, that returns as sort of a backdrop here, just to add some extra depth to that second shelf. Again, something you can appreciate more when it is dark out, and of course I will show it off in that form as well. And then up top we have the Coke Gallery. I don't even know what else to call it. Last year the Coke Gallery was, of course, on the windowsill. This time I just went all out on it. Some of you might have even noticed that during my Christmas stream that I did, the Christmas Central live stream, how I just kind of went all out on the top shelf, even adding the original Coke bottles up to the top shelf. The last of which, of course, was had on Christmas 2021 last year, just about a year ago now. And we are getting ever closer to the return of Christmas. And truth be told, the Christmas tree is not even done in terms of all the decorations. It's set up and it's ready to go, but it is missing a good amount of the iconic decorations. I still have to put them on. But everything else I thought was ready for prime time. I'm ready to show it off. This is, of course, not the last time we will see this room. And in its entirety, there's just so much going on, so much noise that I actually have to turn off like half the stuff, half the time. But I did think that it was important to just, again, showcase all of these wonderful things, And doing this on YouTube, revealing the Christmas Central thing, it's not live, obviously. It's all scripted, or mostly scripted. So it doesn't quite have that same appeal, which is why I'm really happy that the Christmas Fireside Chat has become a thing. as of 2019, really kind of like giving me that chance to talk directly to people, to answer questions about Christmas Central, to answer questions about Christmas in general. Because there's so much more to Christmas than just these lights and just this tree and just, this is all important stuff. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about maybe the most 2012 element of this whole thing, which is my Epiphone or Epiphany, I don't know how you pronounce it, my electric guitar in the corner here, which is serving as a part of the magic tracks that go around the track. And of course, right behind it, we have that awesome picture of me playing guitar with Nani singing along from 2012. So why is the guitar there? Why is it such a big deal? It's Christmas. What does a guitar have to do with Christmas? But you'd be surprised. 2012 was a very transformative year for me, not just for Christmas, but in general. And some of those transformations live on to this day. Some of them are probably a little bit more subtle, and most people wouldn't notice them. But one of the things that I remember when I think of 2012 as a whole is that guitar. Not just guitar, but that guitar in particular. All the time I spent learning it, working on it with my friend Kurt, playing Rocksmith, which, yeah, I know, I actually learned a thing or two from a video game called Rocksmith. And just all the great times that guitar provided me when times maybe weren't so great. And, for Christmas Day, to bring that over Nani's house and just have, what was essentially like a 10-minute playing of Jingle Bell Rock. It was nothing amazing, but it still lives on as one of my favorite defining Christmas memories of the last 10 years and beyond. And, to have it in this setup, even to dig it out of the bag for the first time, because I haven't looked at this guitar in a while. I have a couple new guitars since then. But to even get to see the old girl again, shiny and red and all that great stuff, I'm not going to say it brought a tear to my eye, but there's a reason it's here, is all I'm going to say. And I'm really happy to bring it back. I'm really happy to bring back a lot of this stuff while also incorporating some new things. We got the casino on the second level. We got Winterhaus, the German ski resort that my friend John was there for when I bought it in Boscov's. And, these are all little details that, kind of go by the wayside. They're not going to be what we remember this Christmas for, but they're details that I like to say nonetheless. Of course, we got the Grid of Memories over on the piano. We've got the video memories up on the final shelf of Christmas Central with all the Coke stuff. And what is it with Coke? Coke and guitar, and this emphasis on the color red this year that really couldn't have come at a much better time, because Coke colors being red and white, my guitar being red, everything just kind of coming together at the perfect time. Is it coincidence? Is it planned? I really couldn't tell you, because when I started Christmas Central in 2009 and then improved it again in 2012, I didn't know where we would go with this. These lights that I have, these twinkly lights that I introduced in 2021 as sort of an extra feature, they've now taken center stage. And the things that I can do with these lights are quite frankly amazing. I might do that in a separate video, or at least show it off during the fireside chat and the countdown. I need to breathe. Clearing this room out, of course, is no easy feat. There's a ton of stuff in here, and it's all necessary. I know it looks kind of extra. It's like, why do you need, every single thing or whatever? I went to great lengths to make sure that pretty much every string of Christmas lights I've ever used was either used here or downstairs or outside or somewhere. Because, Christmas is nothing to sneeze at. That was absolutely scripted, you better believe it. Christmas is nothing to sneeze at. And, during this year, much like 2012, when I was in college and I was trying to juggle a few different things, I've been mad busy. I've had 3 different jobs. And, normally, I have 3 jobs. It's like, maybe one has a busy period and one doesn't. They've all been pretty active. I've been DJing. I've been doing AV tech work for the fine folks down at Encore. I've been working at Staples 2, 3, 4 days a week. So there has not been a ton of downtime, but the downtime that I get, I try to put as much of it as I can into just enjoying the setup. Enjoy setting it up. If it seems like I'm always in a hurry, maybe I am. But this is the one time a year with Christmas in which it's kind of both. It's kind of like a hurry, but also it's a savoring of the moment. I've always said that. I've always used that terminology. You savor the moment, live in the present, all that stuff. Yeah, I'm excited for it to be Christmas. I'm excited for, finishing the tree, for going over friends, to do all these things. And I'm excited for it. But it's over about as fast as it happens. So it really is something that I take very seriously every year. That's why I make these videos. That's why I do come back to these videos. And I think even more needs to be said about just the little things that happen in between these preparations. I try to, emphasize that every year. And some years I'm able to do it better than other times. I'm hoping this will be a year, and I don't see why not, but I'm hoping this will be one of those years where, we do get to kind of stop and smell the roses for a bit. That's what these rants are all about. And like I said, normally I would do this during the night, and I might still have another one where I do, but this stuff matters. I can't really explain why it matters, but it does matter. It matters to me. It matters to so many people across the country, across the world. Christmas Day and whatever traditions you might have with your family and friends. This has been one of mine for over 10 years now. Christmas Central. In some ways it's like really easy to put up. In some ways it's tough. There are decisions to be made. Do I want to use this here, whatever? It would be so easy for me to just duplicate the setup every year or just add a couple lights. But I don't do that. I strip it down every single year. And Christmas 2021 had a beautiful green and white setup that I love to design. And just as much, I love to design this red and white setup. And I knew, what I was looking for. And I'm happy to say that I got it. All across the board. This is basically what I wanted. And it's not a rip-off of 2012, which was a great setup, but it's a new interpretation. And every year is a new interpretation of something from the past, something from the future, because there are some new elements here. But I really hope that you all like it. I really like it. I can't wait to have friends over some point in December for my birthday bash so that they can see this all in person. And, Christmas Day with my family, and Christmas Eve, all that great stuff. This room has been part of some of the most historic days of my life, and it's going to be part of that again this year. Not surprisingly, but still exciting, still worth talking about. So thank you guys so much for supporting me. We'll see plenty more Christmas Central, but it's showtime right now. Welcome to Christmas Central once again, Bobby Productions 2022, reporting live from the seat.